Hi everyone, my name's Lily. I'm the book reviewer behind Utopia State of Mind, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my May wrap up. What do I want to say about May? First, I'm going to talk about how I've been doing in May, then I'm going to say what I've been making in May, and then the third, I'm going to talk about my favorite books in May. Editing Lily here. I realize that some of this is not in focus, aka I am not in focus. I'm sorry about that. You'll just have to bear with me. I was filming all alone and I thought that I was in focus, but I was not. So just know that'll be how it is for the rest of the video. So, first of all, where have I been? And what have I been doing in May? I've been kind of all over the place. My schedule's kind of gone start and then stop. I don't know if you've seen online that, but I've been having a lot of migraines in May, partially because I think tend to get a lot of migraines, or I tend to get migraines sometimes, but I've had a lot more. And only literally today, the 1st of June, did I realize when I was there that when I was living my life, that I think it's because of the way that I've been sleeping and my neck, the increased amount of migraines. I got my second ear pierced. I don't know if you can kind of see that in May, and because of that, I had to sleep differently. I don't remember like doing any of this stuff when I got my first ear pierced when I was about 16, I guess. But for this one, I was doing a lot of different things, taking care of my ear. But one thing was I was sleeping on a travel pillow instead of sleeping on my regular pillow to keep pressure and like movement, I guess, off of my ears. It's been about 4 weeks since I've been doing this. So as you can tell, like all of May has kind of been plagued by more migraines than normal. And I think it's because of the way that I've been sleeping. Literally, I think yesterday I just woke up at 3 in the morning because I was really thirsty and I just like felt the migraine hit me when I first woke up. And then, yeah, that's kind of just been what's happening. Also happened today. So, I'm dressed to film, but I'm not like dressed, and I'm not, made up in the way that I wanted to be for this really fun red outfit. But that has kind of been what's happening in May as a whole. I got new bookshelves, which you saw as well, which also made me kind of dip in and out of May. So all in all, it was really hard to like be present, all throughout May on a variety of my social media platforms and like in life, I guess. So that's kind of what's been happening in May. I also was going to be supposed to be traveling for a little bit in May, but then I didn't do it when I thought I was going to do it, and then I did when I didn't think I was going to be doing it, and because of that, it was also really stressful. I was sleeping less, having more pain, more migraines, and more stress. It was not a fun month in that sense. But in terms of what I made, I finally finished this shirt. By that I mean I put buttons on it. I put buttons on my shirt. I put buttons on 2 other shirts, which were gifts. I finally finished the Relaxagon crochet shirt season of my life so far. It looks really good. This is actually the first time I've been wearing it. There are a lot of ends that I haven't woven in, as you can tell here. It is my least favorite thing of any project to weave in ends. Maybe all of my other fellow crafting people can relate to this, but I mean this. And then actually last night I finished. So in the last week, I realized that except for this shirt, I don't tend to keep a lot of the crochet and knitted pieces. I've gotten rid of a lot of them, and by that I mean I've given them away to friends and family. And so actually, I think I have maybe 2 sweaters, which still seems like a lot, but I've been doing this basically since 2020, and I've made more sweaters than that. And this is the first kind of shirt I got and I've kept. So then I thought, wouldn't it be really cool if I made myself like a summer crochet top? I just finished this last night. And it is like a tank top kind of thing. You can kind of see it, and it's supposed to be like a corset back, which you can't really see. Also, you can see I have 5 million ends to tie in and weave in. So I just finished last night and I've been really happy. I've been definitely wanting to make more earrings. I've gotten a few boxes, I've gotten more clay, I've gotten more tools. So hopefully in June, July, and August I'll be making more earrings. Over the winter I wanted to, but it was so cold in my apartment that the clay was just not warming up well enough to my hands. I'm hoping in the summer months it will be better. Also, it will be harder to like bake them in the summer months because it will be hotter. So anyway, in terms of books that I read in May, this has probably been the month that I've read the most physical books ever. I'll just show you my little pile here. Ooh. It is gigantic. When I said little pile, I was like kind of kidding. It is gigantic how many books that I've read in May physically. I normally read a lot of books on my Kindle, ebooks, audiobooks, e-arcs, kind of that thing. So the fact that I read so many in May is obviously thanks to all the publishers who sent me these books. Except for Interesting Facts About Space, which was a gift. All of the publishers sent me the rest of those books. So obviously, thank you to the various publishers. If you see me posting about these books on Instagram, for example, you'll see the publishers tagged. But I was able to read, actually, why is Calamity here? I read Fiasco, not Calamity. So obviously, that's a mistake. It should be Fiasco, not Calamity. You know, just migraine brain, basically. In May, though, I read 35 books, and actually 49% of those had main characters of color, and 49% of those had queer characters as main characters. You can sort of see that I will normally read books before like a certain month, and by that I mean Heritage Month or Celebration Month beforehand, mostly because I'm reading according to publication schedule. A lot of publication schedules orient themselves around these kinds of events. So I think that that's why you can see that I did really well also with the queer books that I read in May. I want to talk about 3 standout books that I really, really loved from May. I can't find my copy. I guess I'll just start with this one. I can't find my copy of Don't Fear the Reaper. It should be here because basically as soon as I finished My Heart is a Chainsaw, I immediately jumped into Don't Fear the Reaper. But I want to talk about Don't Fear the Reaper first, I guess, because I have a little bit of a caveat. So the publisher actually sent me My Heart is a Chainsaw and Don't Fear the Reaper, mostly because I saw Carmen, Tomes of Textiles, basically weeping at the end of the 3rd book in the Angel Lake trilogy, I think is what it's called. And so I was inspired extra to pick up that trilogy. Started My Heart is a Chainsaw, which I read in print, physical form. And I liked it, but some parts were really hard. So basically, if you've read it, you'll know that some parts have this kind of horror 101 chapters, which are more of like horror 101, seems sort of like essay-esque, but they're also more like memoirs. They talk a lot about tropes, horror movies. Incredibly helpful for me as a horror baby, but it meant that it took me out of the narrative a lot. And I know that obviously they related to the story in a variety of different ways, but just for me, it was kind of difficult. But I listened to the audiobook of Don't Fear the Reaper, even though I had the physical copy. Sometimes I would like dip into the physical copy, but mostly audiobook. And that was a game changer. The narration makes things feel, how do I describe this? The narration made it 100 times better, at least for me as a listener / reader for Don't Fear the Reaper, because the those interstitials or those slasher 102, which is I think what it's called in that one, they are narrated at a different pace. I tend to read pretty quickly in terms of kind of how many words, how many pages I can consume a minute. And I felt like Don't Fear the Reaper was an audiobook and a book in general that demanded that certain pieces of it be read differently, right? So the horror chapters, the horror 101, 102 chapters obviously need to be read at a different pace. And for me, when I'm reading it in physical form, it's harder for me to differentiate that in terms of my brain. So listening to it was fantastic. Also, I think the thing that helped as well was so much of Don't Fear the Reaper is based on My Heart is a Chainsaw. It's a sequel. And so many of the characters, so much of the plot, I already knew. And I think also Don't Fear the Reaper has a fair bit that is dedicated to kind of rehashing things that happened in the first one and making that impact stronger. And also seeing how this new community and this new timeline, these new people are interacting with the layer of what happened in the first book, which was interacting with the layer of what happened in the past. It was just like a lot to explain in My Heart is a Chainsaw. And because you have a better foundation in Don't Fear the Reaper, I think it just made the whole experience so much better for me. It like clicked when I was listening to the audiobook, mostly because I think of the nature of it being a sequel, but also the audiobook narration. So, just a reminder that sometimes it's okay to put down and pick up a book, but also try switching up the format if you can sometimes, because it may be better for you. Sometimes some activities, sometimes of the day, just based on circumstance, you might be more able to pick up an audiobook than a physical book. So it just was a reminder to me, kind of re-cementing how I already felt and reminding me to practice what I preach. The next one is Perfect Little Monsters, which I feel like I read so many thrillers in May. Part of it's because I did a mystery thriller YA debut panel. I will link that down below. Obviously, I will also link all the book reviews down below. But Perfect Little Monsters was definitely one of my favorite thrillers just because I sincerely did not know where this was going to go. Like, it has been so hard to talk about Perfect Little Monsters without spoiling the actual book, but it was just like really twisty. The red herrings were really fabulous. There were pieces at the end that just cement how I feel about the book, which I cannot talk about. So like, I don't really know how to further describe to you why I really like Perfect Little Monsters, but it is certainly a mind-bendy twist to things that a lot of the things in Perfect Little Monsters are elements or things that you may see in other thrillers, but they just worked so well and so seamlessly in Perfect Little Monsters, and the way they kind of came together to make this mystery thriller. And finally, the last is Road to Ruin, which honestly, the ending of this destroyed my heart. This is a queer speculative fiction, adult fiction debut. It has like sci-fi Mad Max vibes in the sense that it's like a post-apocalyptic, in some sense, world with dirt bike kind of, fantastical devices, but also there's fantasy magic, there's houses. It just like was a very speculative fiction world, which I adored. I adored spending time in this world, even though if I was personally in the world, I would not survive very long. It's also queer. There's a love triangle. Like, it was just so action-packed, so fun. But like, that ending was a knife to the heart, basically. It hurt me in ways that I cannot properly even describe based on like the character dynamics. Also, like, Road to Ruin had so much in terms of action and world, but the core also of Road to Ruin are the character dynamics within it. Like, it just so good. I cannot wait for the rest of the series, which I think is like the Mage Bite Courier series. I cannot wait for more. I loved this world. I cannot wait to be back in it. And so those were the three that I definitely wanted to highlight as favorites for May. I hope that by the time I see you all in June, I will be feeling better. I think that I'm going to try to start sleeping on a normal pillow. When I was after I got my ears pierced, no one really said when I could sleep on a normal pillow again. Also, I feel like online the answers that I've been getting after extensive Googling is just kind of like, do it as long as you can. And I just feel like I'm at the end of my rope. I think that they wanted you to say that you could kind of change out the earrings after 6 to 8 weeks, according to some sources. So I'm trying to make it to 6 weeks. That's only 2 more weeks, I think. So I'm trying to make it to 6 weeks before I switch over completely to a different pillow. But after I realized that it's because of like the neck position and maybe how I've been sleeping, I am like so unwanting basically to go back to sleeping on this travel pillow. So that's been May. I keep like putting my arms up like this because I love seeing these little like hexagon things. I think they're so fun. If anyone wants me to link the pattern down below, just let me know in the comments. I will see you in the next video, hopefully when I'm feeling a lot better. That was the TLDR, what I was just saying. And I hope you have a really great rest of your reading day, week, month, and year. Please comment below what some of your favorite reads of May were, and also if you're making yourself any fun summer accessories. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.